Adding to the previous map reveal we had a few weeks back, the team at CRUSADE has given us more information about two factions on the map, the Assassins of Alamut and the Rotten City of Ekron. They also revealed us another demon prince of the Court of the Seven-Headed Serpent. We already talked about that court in another video, I'll leave right here, but anyways, without further ado, let's get right into the topic, starting off with those guys from Assassin's Creed. Alamut the Unconquered. Alamut the Unconquered, also known as Eagle's Nest, is the chief stronghold of the Nizari Ismail sect, who still hold sway over their ancient lands near the Caspian Sea. This mountain fortress houses a dreaded order of assassins. No deadlier killers walk this world. Raised from childhood in the lethal and esoteric arts that bend time and space in service of their mystic craft. Many learned scholars of the Iron Sultanate claim that Alamut was left outside of the Great Iron Wall as a mark of Allah's disfavor for their heretical views on religion. The mystics of the assassin sneer at this suggestion and maintain that the ever-preserving knew his children at Alamut would need no such protection. Though largely closed to outsiders, there are times when the Old Man of the Mountain requires the services of outsiders or wishes to seek counsel from a sage of great wisdom in person. Such individuals awaken to find summons placed by their bedside delivered by unseen hands as they slumber, summoned to the capital of Dayland, and few dare to refuse such an invitation. At the mouth of the valley, they are met by servants of the Order who blindfold them and ensure they cannot learn the hidden path to the home of the Eagles. Such visitors tell to heavenly gardens, libraries that rival those of the House of Wisdom, and laboratories where philosophers, scientists, and theologians debate a multitude of matters. Very few will speak of their audience with the Master of the Knives himself, the Old Man of the Mountain, for fear of insulting their dreaded host. Of those brave enough to reveal details of their encounter, some describe being greeted by a youth full of vigor, an athlete and warrior at the prime of his life, wearing a shining white cloak. Others, however, describe an ancient man with a long silver beard, dressed in black kilat, adorned with tiras in the color of blood. Whether a result of a clever disguise or the mystic arts of the Hashinshin, all accounts agree on one detail: a simple ring, bearing the seal engraved with the symbol of Solomon the Wise, rests upon a chain around the neck of the Lord of Alamut. Rumors abound that this is the first and true seal given by Allah to the mighty king, giving him the power to command spirits such as Shayiti and the Jinn. It is speculated that it is the power of the seal that has kept Alamut safe all these years, despite Hell's forces holding the land surrounding Alamut and its hinterlands. Whatever the truth of the matter, no warband of the Court of the Seven-Headed Serpent has ever approached the citadel of Alamut. Beelzebub's unclean Order of the Fly recoils from the assassin's hinterlands, and no outbreak of the Black Grail have ever been reported within their domain. It seems that Hell's otherworldly powers are held at bay by some kind of protection capable of countering their goetic magic. Thus, the mission to conquer Alamut has fallen upon the mortal followers of Hell. Abaddon, the great Prince of Wrath, has promised a reward of eternal youth to any heretic warlord who captures the Eagle's Nests. Despite the overwhelming number of the forces of the heretic legions, all who have attempted to take the fortress thus far have failed. Many attempts to invade are thwarted in their earliest moments, as great heretic lords die in their tents to assassins' daggers, or through poison in their meals, and others disappear without a trace. Scarcely a decade passes without Alamut being assaulted, for there is no lack of ambitious heretic warlords. But the forces of Shaitan that have laid siege to its onyx walls have discovered that the fortress is all but invincible. The Alamut Valley, bordered to the east by the Alamku mountain range, and its western entrance is a narrow one, shielded by cliffs and warded by mystic standing stones. For much of the year, the raging waters of the river, Alamut, make this entrance inaccessible. Flanked by the iron wall to the east and west, any forces approaching come under a barrage of long-range artillery from its garrison, who gleefully exact a heavy toll on any would-be invaders. In the skies above, the airspace is protected and patrolled by the Sultan's flying ships of war, making aerial assault impossible. Though no official document or declaration exists, the strategists of New Antioch widely believe that the Sultanate's indirect protection of Alamut is granted in exchange for the services of the assassins. Alamut's natural and military defenses are not its only safeguard. Heretic long-range artillery finds its shells striking the surrounding mountains, never the fortress itself. No matter how carefully the distances are measured or what dark prayers are offered to patron demons, Assault forces lose their way, even when guided by infernal compasses and maps. Time itself flows in a strange fashion here, and invaders find that each step robs their youth and vitality, causing them to succumb to the infirmity of old age long before reaching the walls of Alamut. Their spent and withered bodies fall to join other unsuccessful invaders scattered across the lands of the assassins as their souls succumb to their doom and flames. Even to behold the fortress is a trial, its stones vanishing against the sky, eluding the eye and confounding the mind. Those who have tried to assault Alamut and have lived to tell the tale recall a powerful aura of forbidding menace surrounding the home of the Eagles. Even the most devout and bloodthirsty heretic general, sworn to serve the serpent head of wrath, may think twice before challenging the assassins. And so Alamut endures, unconquered and unbowed. Okay, here we also have some confirmation of who is the Prince of Wrath, the fallen angel Abaddon. And according to Christian myth, he was an angel that was trapped in hell and will lead locusts and other plagues that will rise from the bottom of the abyss during the end of times. We glossed over those locusts in the video we made about the court of the seven-headed serpent. And it also mentions that the Elder of the Mountain has the Ring of Solomon. That might explain why goetic magic doesn't apply to him, since he has some control over lesser demons and all that. The other bit of information we have is about one of the greater demons, Beelzebub, Lord of the Flies and patron of the city of Ekron. So let's take a look at it. Even among the forbidden 66 domains ruled by the heretic warlords, Ekron stands apart. It is shunned by both the mortal followers of hell and the servants of the court. No place on earth mirrors the carnage and corruption of hell so closely as this putrescent city of Beelzebub, the Lord of the Flies. The King of Gluttony was one of the first three of the most exalted angelic spirits to fall. Since those ancient days, when he was worshipped as Baal of Flies, a great god of the people known as the Philistines, Ekron has been his stronghold, where the power of the Prince of Decay is at its most potent. Today, none are welcome here. Even the heretic legions pledged to the sin of gluttony kept their distance. They know full well that even in their fallen state, Beelzebub sees in them a glimpse of his hated father. In the ancient past, Beelzebub coveted the Ark of the Covenant, seeking to claim it for himself. His servants captured the holiest of the relics in his great victory over the servants of God at the Battle of Ebenezer. Though his mortal servants seized the Ark from the Hebrews, they dare not to bring it into the city, for Yahweh punished those who stole the symbol of his covenant. A plague afflicted the people of each town to which it was taken, and the Lord's hand was heavy. He brought devastation upon them and afflicted them with tumors. So terrifying was the Creator's affliction that the people of Ekron abandoned the orders of Beelzebub and voluntarily sent the Ark back to the chosen people. Humiliated and enraged beyond mortal measure, Beelzebub swore never to forget this disgrace. From that day, he devoted himself to the corruption of all creation, vowing to despoil the world until all that lived would be subject to his will and absolute rule. Beelzebub is stuck into his great citadel in the seventh circle of hell. Here he labored for the next 2,000 years to forge the crowning achievement of his dark genius, a plague on his own design. It would not only eclipse those his father sent to punish the pharaoh, but mar and corrupt all creation. Never again would he trust mankind, so weak and easily bent to the will of the tyrant god. Long he labored, pouring much of his divine essence into his work. When the Black Grail was unleashed upon the world in the Black Year of 1436, it brought the world to the brink of utter ruin. The newly established Order of the Fly raised the city of Ekron from the rubble, and the power of Beelzebub seeped through from the Hellgate of Jerusalem. It slithered for many miles, settling upon towers and walls, and streamed through the streets in a torrent of demonic hellflies, scorpions, locusts, and other infernal insects infested with the Black Grail. Ekron stands as the seat of Beelzebub's earthly power, where his worshippers assemble from across the world to offer tribute to the King of Gluttony. Wherever the Black Grail spreads and the Order of the Fly raises its Lord standard, they seek offerings to bring back to the city, to the missionaries of the Black Grail. It is a realm of beauty and divine vision, a whispered promise of the world to come, and a place their hearts yearn to behold. To everyone else, it is a domain of abject horror, where a fate worse than hellfire awaits. After nearly 600 years under the ravages of the Black Grail, Ekron is a city of overflowing splendor and revolting decay. Entire temples, churches, mosques, pagodas, shrines and altars from every corner of the world are scattered throughout the city, born there by the hands of untold millions of Grail thralls. Amid streets seething with undead corruption stand wonders of art. Marble statues, elegant porphyry pillars, frescoes and icons of gold, studded with precious stones. Yet though they are worth the ransom of 1,000 kings, it is not their monetary value that interests Beelzebub. It is thought that the Lord of the Flies can tap into these objects of devotion, feeding on the power of adoration that still lingers in these monuments of faith. Like a parasite, he unleashes the power of faith until he is so engorged with it that his great wings might once more carry him skyward to storm the gates of heaven. To make the religious objects more palatable and pleasing to their lord and master, the clergy of the flight conducts elaborate rites of desecration. Through complex rituals, they corrupt icons and holy places, transforming them into morsels, offerings to be devoured by his ravenous gluttony for worship and adulation. Yet he will never be sated. Though he seeks to fill the terrible emptiness festering within him, his hunger can never truly be assuaged, no matter how much of creation he consumes. For what the Lord of the Flies hungers for above all his other natural appetites is the sole right to divine worship, a birthright he feels his father has usurped. In his mind, the natural order is for the parent to die, so their offerings may rise in their place. And who more suited to take the throne of God than Beelzebub, the most gifted of his children? I really love the approach they're giving Beelzebub here. He's also described as one of the most exalted angels, so that leads me to believe that he and Lucifer were two of those three. I also suspect that Satan would be just a title rather than a proper demon, since Abaddon is now the head of Wrath. We also know, although I'm not that sure about it, is that Lucifer currently is not the Prince of Pride. And we know from other sources that Mammon has always been the Prince of Greed, and funny enough, it is still certain if someone has taken Beelzebub's seat as the head of Gluttony. If I'm missing something, just let me know in the comments down below, but anyways, if you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. That really helps me and the channel. Anyways, thank you all for watching guys, and I'll see you all next time.